Hey, 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 happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, shockingly enough, Roll for Combat and their Battlezoo Ancestry Living Legends Kickstarter, which I will talk about in just a few moments, as well as the GamingGang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard, everybody. Tonight is Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. This is live stream number 1172. No fooling. It really is. If you're not overly familiar with the show, let me point out it's super casual around here. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news. And then I will pontificate about a topic related to our hobby. Or maybe we'll take a first look at a game, do an unboxing, take a peek inside a board game. You never know. You never know. Although you need to stay tuned because I have a major announcement on changes coming to both the Dispatch as well as the channel itself. So I'll talk about that after today's news. But you want to point out also, we're going to dive on in and take a first look at the One Ring 2nd Edition, Realms of the Three Rings from Free League Publishing, which of course is also the same book with the Keepers of, isn't it Keepers? Yes, Keepers of the Elven Rings for Lord of the Rings role-playing, also from Free League Publishing. This, of course, is statted for 5e, whereas the One Ring 2nd Edition uses the One Ring 2nd Edition. So there is that. So we are going to be diving on in and taking a peek at that today. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit GamingGang.com for all the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you will not find here on YouTube. Come on, you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Then, of course, because this is a live stream, there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that keeps some of the more unusual commenters at bay. And you must be a subscriber to the channel for at least 10 whole minutes before you can take part. It's another way to keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you check those boxes and you want to say howdy, maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my very best to respond. First out the gate tonight is Sean O'Donnell. We've also got Wallona's Cave, Kevin R. Smith, Semper Buffo, Kevin King, LJ Costanzo is also hanging with the gang, as is Reading Aid and Anthony Simeone. I know. I butcher everybody's names. What can I tell you? So welcome aboard, everyone. And maybe the lovely and talented Miss Sarah D just might be lurking in the shadows. Very possible. One of our chat moderators with her glittery banhammer. So behave. Michael Berry is also popping on into chat. Simeone is the pronunciation. I did say that one, along with like 3 others, I think. Well. So the stream tonight got off to a weird start because I was like, oh yeah, okay, hey. There we go, streaming. And I'm like, yay, That's blah, blah, blah. Then I noticed, wow, there's nobody saying anything in chat after about a minute. And then I see Sean O'Donnell is like, howdy or whatever. And I'm like, hold on a second. So I glance and it turns out instead of the streaming button, I hit the recording button. So I was recording. I was not streaming. Oh! Thankfully, I didn't go like a half hour and then be like, man, where is everybody? Gosh, nobody's hanging out in chat tonight. Hey, probably would have taken me no more than 5 minutes. So, oh gosh, Sarah D says that unfortunately they've got a close relative who's in end of life care right now. I'm very sorry to hear that. My condolences. I always feel weird saying that. My condolences. I'm not a thoughts and prayers guy. So, but very sorry to hear that. That is not something that is easy to deal with. So, but I am glad that you are hanging out with us. Maybe we can put a little bit of cheer. Yeah, maybe just a little tiny bit. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so let's talk about our sponsor, because right now the Dispatch is being sponsored by Roll for Combat and their Battle Zoo Ancestries Living Legends Kickstarter, which includes 14 new playable races for 5e Dungeons & Dragons and 2nd edition Pathfinder, including Evil Eyes, Gargoyles, Golemborn, Arboreals, Devils, and more. Now, there is a Backer Kit video. Isn't it on Backer Kit? Like, wait a second. No, it's not on Backer Kit. It is on Kickstarter. Gosh, I swear, so many different crowdfunding projects going on right now, and it's some of them are Backer Kits, some of them are Kickstarter. Yes, this is on Kickstarter. Thus, the reason why it says kickstarter.rollforcombat.com. No. Anyway, there is a video that I know a lot of you really enjoy. So let's take a peek.
No. There's nothing else to roleplay as in my tabletop games. I've been everything imaginable. A dwarf, a halfling, an elf, a sexy elf.
Hey, Jack.
What?
Jack.
What is it, Vampire Cop?
I know you're looking to put weird little monsters into your game. Well, look no further. Battle Zoo Ancestries Living Legends has 14 unique ancestries for your Pathfinder 2e or D&D 5th edition games.
Radical!
Like Swarmblood, a creature made of hundreds of other little creatures. Gargoyles, where you can disguise as an ordinary statue, but also become a warrior of the night.
Look at them all. Angels, devils, sphinxes, evil eyes. I love them and I will die for them.
And if you really want to go full sicko mode, you can be a fusion and play as an ancestry that combines multiple characters in one, like a chimera, two-headed giant, or even a hydra. You could either share this character with other players or control it all by yourself.
I could have the power of both a low-level internet personality
and a low-budget, sexy horror action movie? Visit Kickstarter.rollforcombat.com
to get Battle Zoo Ancestries Living Legends, which includes in-depth information about each creature's culture, society, and history. You also get hundreds of digital tokens and illustrations that work with any VTT. Go get your hands on all these little freaks today.
Hey, can I join you? Sure, we can be a chimera now.
No! You can reserve a copy of Living Legends in the flavor of your choice. Once again, either 5e D&D or 5.5e D&D by extension, or 2nd edition Pathfinder in hardcover with PDF for a $69 pledge. you want to just grab a PDF, you can do so for a $35 pledge. And if you want to sprinkle in some virtual tabletop goodness, you can do that for a $99 pledge through April 11th. The PDFs are expected in July, with the hardcovers to follow in September. And should also point out today, and I believe it's today only, Roll for Combat is giving away a Battle Zoo Ancestry. I think it's Demigods, but it is for today and today alone, as far as I understand. So by all means, check that out. All righty, moving right along. So Sean O'Donnell is talking about Wizards of the Coast with their cease and desist on the fan mod for Stardew Valley, which was Baldur's Gate 3 themed. And then they were like, yeah, that's a bad PR move. Let's walk that back. Yep. Which actually that's got a little bit to do with my announcement later on after the news. But let's jump on into the news. Then we can get to that announcement, because now out in print and PDF is a miniatures agnostic rule system that looks very interesting. Here's what I know about the Consortium. Fantasy adventures in the New World. With the discovery of new lands far across the ocean, the nations of the old world rushed to stake their claims. Unfortunately for them, this was a wild and untamed land overrun by terrible creatures. The colonists who sought to make their homes here eventually banded together against the monstrous darkness and created something new. Thus, the Consortium was born. Here you'll take on the role of a party of freelance adventurers working for a powerful collective of guilds known as the Consortium. Explore ancient ruins, battle fearsome monsters, and build your reputation and riches while trying to survive the untold horrors of the new world. This includes over 40 unique, highly replayable missions, multiple modes of play, including solo, party mode, co-op, and more. It is miniatures agnostic. Build your characters and monsters however you envision them by using a massive library of traits, spells, virtues, flaws, and weaknesses. It's a fast-paced and exciting combat system, which includes endless possibilities for adventure and, of course, shenanigans. I will pistol whip the next man to say shenanigans. This 172-page hardcover with PDF can be had over at Wargame Vault for $35. If you want to grab just the softcover with PDF, you can do so for $25. And if you just want to grab the PDF alone, you can do that for $10. And I should also mention, we're going to be taking a look at the Consortium, because the Consortium is sending me the Consortium. Because yes, that is the name of the company, the Consortium, and their game is called the Consortium. Looks kind of interesting. I like the putting the monsters and everything together based on various different traits and things like that. So you can use whatever miniatures you'd like. While I'm on the topic of miniatures, I got an email today from a company that represents a resin 3D printer outfit. And they were reaching out to see if I would be interested in reviewing their new 3D printer, which is coming out. It seemed legit. So I said, okay, what do you got in mind? What do you got in mind? I'm kind of curious. So we'll see what happens. So I'm always looking to try to get us into more miniatures coverage, or at least I was looking to get us into more miniatures coverage. So I think that would be kind of cool. So once again, this is the Consortium. Stay tuned. Yesterday, Kobold Press launched the backer kit. See, remember backer kit? Kickstarter, it's throwing me off. So many of them. To crowdfund a cozy, anthropomorphic animal role-playing game. And I've got the skinny on Riverbank. In a Riverbank game, you join an intelligent society of anthropomorphic animals and enter their life of cake and tea time by the slow part of the river. Here, the charm of cottagecore meets the delight of sophisticated critters as they navigate polite animal society. In the Riverbank role-playing game, your character choices drive the story. Weave farcical or dramatic tales of elegant characters celebrating friendships, navigating social niceties, and weathering the unique dynamics of animal life. Attend tea parties, stroll through gardens, and win the prize at the village fair, all while trying to dodge difficult relatives and keeping a stiff upper lip, even if you don't have an upper lip. Kobold Press is offering a brand new, highly playable system for the Riverbank RPG. The game is optimized for 3 to 5 players using standard dice to resolve player decisions while balancing the characters' animality and poetry sides. Fall too far into one side or the other, and total disaster may follow. Grab your friends and get ready for a waltz of whimsy, a hint of hilarity, and a dollop of drama in the Riverbank RPG. Sadly, there is no video. Kind of surprised. I would have thought it's a brand new role-playing game that Kobold Press is rolling out there, but no video. Now, there are a variety of pledge levels, and of course, this already funded. It funded right away. You can reserve a copy of the hardcover with PDF for a $49 pledge, or if you want to just grab the PDF, you can do so for a $25 pledge through April 30th. And sadly enough, this is on BackerKit, and it can be very difficult trying to find when is the expected fulfillment on BackerKit. I did not encounter anything. Now, it's possible maybe it's been added, or maybe it's in the question portion. I would take a wild guess. This is probably about a year out. That is my guess as far as the physical books, because that's usually about the turnaround for Kobold Press when they crowdfund stuff, about 10 months, 12 months. So that is my guess here. Kathy Evans is with us in chat. Yes, Wallona's Cave got the Super Troopers reference with shenanigans. Kevin King says, Wind of the Willows, the role-playing game. That's exactly what I thought. That's what I thought. I did not think Animal Crossing. Well, the reality is I've never played an Animal Crossing game. I immediately thought Wind in the Willows, especially with the art style. I did not think Winnie the Pooh. Nope. Could be kind of cool. Kind of cool. Wallona's Cave says they love Wind of the Willows and Peter Rabbit type games. Kevin R. Smith points out they did not see much by way of mechanics in the preview. Yes, there is a preview PDF on the BackerKit page that you can take a peek at. How do you think I got some of these images I'm sharing with you? Yes, it is from the preview. Of course, I would assume that this is going to be a very rules light sort of system. Matteo's with us, says Beatrice Potter vibes too. Yes, I would definitely give that to the game. All right, so let's talk about a money-saving deal, because Catalyst Game Labs has joined forces with Humble Bundle to offer a smashing deal on BattleTech role-playing releases, and I've got the deets on the deal. Become a legend of mechanized mayhem. Quick, jump in the cockpit and fire up your mech. We've got some butt to kick. Feel the rush and excitement of role-playing in BattleTech's Oregon Reach a broken, futuristic, Earth-like land. It's time to gather your party for the Battletech Collection Bundle by Catalyst Game Labs and experience new adventures in awesome robots. This comprehensive bundle offers everything you need to enjoy the Battletech experience, including lore books and new campaigns. Get Battletech Universe, Battletech MechWarrior Destiny, and much more. Plus, your purchase will also support No Kid Hungry. Now, you can jump aboard this for as little as a single solitary dollar, and you'll actually score a trio of setting books. Or you can go all in for a minimum donation of $18 and snag all 20 PDFs, which are on offer. And they are on offer through April 18th. So once again, folks out there who are like, oh my gosh, this hobby is too expensive. Role-playing games are too expensive. Keep your eyes peeled on the bundles. This is a pretty rocking bundle. I will be the first to point out, I know almost nothing about the role-playing aspects of Battletech. Seeing that there's so much is actually baked into the timeline of Battletech. I don't know. I don't know. But could be kind of cool. Could be kind of cool. Hey, 20 PDFs, $18. Even if it's not your cup of tea in the end, it's still 20 PDFs, a bunch of mecha, $18. Can't really go wrong there. Moving right along, landing in stores tomorrow is the Pathfinder Adventure Anthology, Claws of the Tyrant. Here's the latest from Paizo Inc. Face the terrors of the Gravelands. The fate of two goddesses hangs in the balance as disgraced Grave Knight Seldig Beldis prepares a ritual to rewrite history itself. Brave heroes and wicked villains alike assemble either to hinder or to assist Seldig in his plans in this heart-stopping adventure anthology for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Claws of the Tyrant is an anthology of 3 interconnected adventures set in the former nation of Lastwall, now known as the Gravelands. Graveland Survivors is a Pathfinder adventure for 4 first-level characters that follows a group of refugees as they race to keep a holy artifact out of Seldig's clutches. In Ashes for Ozem, an adventure for 4 7th-level characters, the players assume the roles of agents assembled by Seldig to infiltrate a stronghold of good and destroy it from within. In Of Blood and Faith, an adventure designed for 4 18th-level characters, the Knights of Lastwall and their allies prepare for the final confrontation with Seldig and end the Grave Knight's machinations once and for all. This anthology also includes a collection of monsters, feats, and magic items perfect for any adventure set in the undead haunted Gravelands. This 128-page hardcover will carry an MSRP of $44.99. If you want to grab just the PDF, you'll be able to do that tomorrow for $19.99. And we will actually be taking a first look at Claws of the Tyrant tomorrow because I am going to do another live Paizo preview. So yes, we will do a Paizo preview for April. There are only 3 items, actually, that we'll be taking a peek at. We're going to dive on in and take a look at Claws of the Tyrant on tomorrow's show. Agile Monk is jumping on into chat. Good to see you once again. And let's move on to our final news piece because there's a new supplement which has landed for the Arkham horror role-playing game from Edge Studio. And here's the scoop on Arkham Mysteries. 3 unique tales offer mystery and terror for you and your friends across 96 pages of intrigue and danger. Dread has come to the city of Arkham. In the darkened halls of the Miskatonic Museum, will the investigators survive the Orphidian's nightmare? When the latest supply of hooch starts making people sick, can the investigators find the source of a mysterious disease in One for the Road? When occult knowledge is bestowed upon the initiate, do the investigators have what it takes to defeat the thrice-fold power? This book also includes 2 double-sided poster maps. Arkham Mysteries is a set of 3 adventures for Arkham Horror, the role-playing game, and will require the core rulebook to play. Strangely enough, I was not able to find a pre-order link, so I don't know if this is going to be in print. I'll take a guess it will be. 96 pages, it's kind of even like that. It's kind of, 96, kind of a cutoff. I would not be surprised if this ends up being maybe a soft cover. But you can get the PDF right now over at DriveThruRPG for $23.99. Gotta say, I have not had an opportunity to take a peek at Arkham Horror, the role-playing game. I had to laugh because I remember when Elliot saw this, and he is a big Arkham Horror board game fan, he was not impressed, I guess. He was like, eh. I was like, really? Like, I thought maybe you'd be interested in checking this out, even just to read it. He's like, no, why would I? I've got Call of Cthulhu. Oh, I should say, more like, he's got me to run Call of Cthulhu. Because, yeah, he saw this. We were at Gen Con last year, and he saw the big poster for it over by the, I guess we would say it was kind of near like Fantasy Flight Games. And of course they had Edge Studio and stuff like that all there. And he's like, really? An Arkham Horror role-playing game? I'm like, yeah. It's like, man, I don't know. It could be kind of cool. Could be 3 interesting adventures. Never know. You never know. All right. So that is the news tonight. Of course, I've mentioned DriveThruRPG a few times. Don't forget, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to go visit DriveThruRPG, Dungeon Masters Guild, Storytellers Vault, Wargame Vault, what have you, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get 5% of that sale. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like the video, if you dig the channel, if you find the Gaming Gang to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you can always support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/ I think it's C/ the Gaming Gang, but I think you can also get there from patreon.com/ the Gaming Gang. So there is that. And of course, if you'd like, if you only want to maybe make a one-time contribution, you can also do that by way of paypal.me/ the Gaming Gang. Hell, buy me a 2-liter bottle of soda if you'd like. Ooh, that's tasty. So yes, very nice, very nice. Do also want to throw a big shout out to one of our big patrons over at Patreon, and it is the Madman. So if you are a patron, if you're a member of the Patreon at $25 a month or more, you get a shout out every single episode of the Dispatch. Yay. Kevin R. Smith said they ran the first adventure in the starter set a couple of days ago of the One Ring, it looks like. So Sean O'Donnell says they've played the first edition of the One Ring. Very cool. There aren't like huge differences, even though they switched publishers. They are still similar in approach. I don't recall first edition all that well anymore, but still, I do recall that, yeah, there are some things that they've tweaked with the second edition. All righty then. So as I mentioned, I have a big announcement to make. It involves the future of the Gaming Gang YouTube channel, as well as the Dispatch. And I've kicked this around a lot. And we've talked a bit before about how difficult it is to actually, and not necessarily make a buck doing this, because I know that's never going to happen, but to at least try to break even. And it is very, 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 I should say, difficult to do that. I rolled out the Patreon, which I hadn't done in years and years, but I've had people who'd ask, hey, how come you don't have a Patreon, Jeff? So I've rolled that back out. We'll see how that goes. I'll be the first to point out I don't have high hopes for it. Anyway, as far as the videos on the channel, it's hit or miss. Some stuff, when I talk about Dungeons and Dragons stuff, or I make any sort of reference to Dungeons and Dragons, those videos pull in tons and tons of views as opposed to anything else. And sad to say it, D&D still puts people in the seats. They still get eyes on your videos as opposed to covering anything else. Sadly enough, that is the case. So after kicking this around for quite some time, I am going to focus on Dungeons and Dragons. It's what this channel is going to become. It is going to become a D&D focused channel. So I know folks out there are not going to be happy about it, but in order to survive, it is what I've got to do. So there is that. It is not really open to discussion. So there you have it. So we are going to see a massive change in the channel very soon, very quickly. So anyway, we are going to get into taking a look at the One Ring second edition, Realms of the Three Rings, in just a few moments. But first, I think it's time for a brief intermission. After you see the little thing about paypal.me/the Gaming Gang.
It's intermission time, folks. Time out for a delicious snack in our sparkling refreshment building. Every item a fresh, appetizing taste treat.
In the old mail car was fearless Fred, guarding a precious sack, when the bandits appeared from everywhere, our hero to attack. The fight was over, just like that, and up spoke fearless, sack in hand.
I'm awfully sorry we had to spat, but this is Toddy, the chocolate drink that's just grand. Yes, Toddy, the delicious chocolate drink in a can, does taste grand. Ice cold or steaming hot, Toddy hits the spot with everybody. During intermission, at our snack bar, or in your car, see how much better those hot dogs or that popcorn tastes with Toddy.
Delicious. Where's everybody going? To the refreshment center. It's everybody's favorite spot for delicious, tasty food, from a snack to a full meal. Drinks, coffee, hot chocolate, and ice-cold drinks of all flavors, plus all the extras, including gum, ice cream, candy. Make your evening at this drive-in even more enjoyable. The refreshment stand has everything to make your visit here a pleasant one. Why not get something now?
It was bedtime, all right, but there was Billy playing a new game, protecting Earth from flying saucers. A flying saucer had landed, and out of it popped a saucer man. Show him your new Mattel Thunderbird gun, Billy. It fires with a real vibrating action in an entirely new way. No caps, no batteries. Pull the bolt, adjust the movable sight, and you're ready to fire again. That's not all, Saucer Man. Look at this new Metallomatic machine gun. Crank off a smoking burst or single shot. Too much for Mr. Saucer Man. Those guns are just out of this world. Okay, Billy, back into bed now. Yes, both of Billy's guns are those safe, sturdy Mattel toys. The bolt-action Thunderburp gun is $3, and the Metallomatic 30-caliber air-cooled machine gun is only $1.80. They're yours wherever toys are sold. You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
This is Wilkins Coffee, the finest. All go soak your head. In Wilkins Coffee, a pleasure.
Paramount Pictures cordially invites you for a weekend getaway at the party to end all parties.
This is the craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, because I don't want to see.
April Fool.
Welcome to my home and lifestyles of the rich and undeserving. Wrong.
Cheers.
Join 8 privileged guests who are just dying to have fun.
Wow, what is this? The bridal suite? You like it?
The ladies.
I find a use for it.
The gentlemen.
We did on the first date.
The young.
Well, basically, I possess an essential lack of seriousness.
And the restless.
You are such a jerk.
Everyone is having such a good time. It's scary.
Is something wrong?
You're dead. Radio is blasted. Someone's knocking at the door. I'm looking at my girl. She passed out. Nikki! I saw someone at the door. Never seen before. Don't know what it is. I don't want to see that.
April Fool's Day. Get ready to party till you drop.
She said that ain't the way to have fun.
April Fools! And yes, W4, there is music missing from that trailer. I had to strip it out because it was giving me a copyright flag. And I wanted to share something that had to do with April Fool's Day. Yes, there you go. W4 is like, oh, I get it. Copyright violations. Yep. Yeah, couldn't pull the wool over your eyes out there, folks. Yes. April Fools. I am not turning this into a Dungeons and Dragons channel. What the hell would be the point of that now? That would have been 5-10 years ago. Not now. Although I had to laugh. Kevin R. Smith says, all you got to do is title everything XYZ game destroys Dungeons and Dragons. So I had considered a few things to do for April Fools because this is the first time in a long, long time that I actually had a show on April Fool's Day. It normally just falls on a day that I'm not doing a show. So I had originally thought of kind of doing something along the lines, if folks out there recall South Park, when I want to say it was the first season of South Park, when they were going to reveal who Cartman's father was. And then they left it as a cliffhanger. And the next week, everybody figured, oh, yeah, okay, so we're going to see, the second part. And it was just a Terrence and Phillip, not Phillips. Yeah, Terrence and the Phillips Screwdriver show. I remember people were pissed. I mean, they were really pissed off. My one buddy who was really into South Park, right from the get-go, he was livid. And I was like, don't you get it? It's April 1st. It's like, I don't care. So I had actually considered starting off the show and saying, hey, we're going to get into all the festivities right after this brief intermission and then have an hour of trailers, old, drive-in movie ads and stuff like that. And then after an hour, come back and say, all right, everybody, that's it for tonight's show. Thanks for watching. And then I thought, you know what? That might piss some people off. Maybe I shouldn't do that. They would have been pretty good. But yeah, I think it would have irritated some folks like, what the fuck's going on? What the hell's going on? I think after about 10 minutes, most people would have understood it was a gag. All righty then. So tonight we are going to be diving on in to take a look at the One Ring Second Edition, Realms of the Three Rings from Free League Publishing. This is the latest volume for the One Ring role-playing game. It clocks in, it's supposed to clock in at 140 pages. We're going to double check that in a sec. Can be pre-ordered with the PDF for an MSRP of $41.80, which then leads me to believe that the retail MSRP should be $39.99, because normally the MSRP in dollars is a little bit more over at the Free League Publishing site, but you get the PDF immediately. So, and that is the case here. So if you happen to pre-order the book, you will get the PDF immediately. I am going to take a guess. We should see the PDF available over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99 or thereabouts before the book lands in stores on April 22nd. So yes, we are actually getting to take a peek at this early. W. Ford says, how about a 6-hour reveal of chairs? Kevin King says, if he does a pinup calendar like Ginny D, would that be a bridge too far? Did she do a pinup calendar? I thought she has social anxieties in that. I mean, why would you do a pinup calendar? I think somebody's yanking my chain there. All right, let's swing on over to the other camera, because here we've got the One Ring, Realms of the Three Kings, which once again is actually the same thing as Keepers of the Elven Rings. Same artwork, same layout. This is statted for 5e. This, of course, is statted for the second edition of the One Ring. So we're going to take a look at this. Hey, Stephen from Roll for Combat's with us. Says, yeah, she does a yearly pinup calendar, but it's like pinups from the 50s. That's what I would think. I wasn't thinking it was like Playboy centerfold stuff. It's like, come on, man. Although I will say, and yes, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here for a second. When I go to Gen Con and they've got like the risque cosplay calendars and that, where they're, the women are topless and that, I'm sort of like, really? Really? And I had to laugh because Elliot's son Brian was with us one year, and he was going to walk in, just take a peek, and he didn't have his ID on him. And he's got like a lumberjack's beard. And they're like, no, sorry, you got to be 18 or over. And he's like, I'm 31. Like, well, you don't have an ID. It was like, okay, all right. All right, you know what? Let's take a look at the back here. Let's take a look at that first. In Eregion, long ago, many elven rings were made, magic rings, as you call them, and they were, of course, of various kinds, some more potent and some less. The lesser rings were only essays in the craft before it was full grown. And to the elven smiths, they were but trifles. yet still, to my mind, dangerous for mortals. But the great rings, the rings of power, they were perilous. In the twilight of the Third Age, 3 realms of the West Elves still endure in Middle-earth. By the power of the 3 rings, they exist as a testament to a time that was. But not only the elves remember, as Sauron gathers his strength to bring war to Middle-earth once again, he plans a devious vengeance against those who humbled him long ago. And then it tells us what is included in the book. So let's take a peek at our credits page. It looks like we've got quite a few people who worked very hard on this. So here we've got it. So our lead writer is Gabrielle Quaglia, with Francesco Nepatello as the additional writer. So it looks as if we have 3 major sections and then some appendices. So our introduction. As the Third Age draws to a close, the power of the elves fades in Middle-earth. Yet 3 realms remain, bulwarks of light against the creeping shadow, ruled by mighty elf lords and fortified by the power of the 3 elven rings. Here dwell those who remember the enchanted songs of the elder days and the noontide of Middle-earth. Here is the last echo of elven home on earth. This book is a guide to the West Elves, their dwellings, and their heroic defense against the many threats which loom over their brethren. It's intended primarily for lore masters who can find among these pages the inspirations they require to bring Middle-earth to life as the player heroes explore it. I don't think there are any adventures per se in this. I think we do have some adventure locales. So we've got a history of the Eldar. Hey, wait a second. That's Warhammer 40K talk. I know, now that they're the Eldari. So we get some information about them through the ages. I always like the line art in these One Ring and Lord of the Rings role-playing releases from Free League Publishing. Line artwork is always really nice. So we've got Lyndon. How many pages devoted to this? A few. So where the Grey Havens are located. So here, as an example, is a locale. There you go. Hilland. I will say that I don't necessarily, I'm not fully versed in all things Tolkien because I got lost with the Silmarillion. I didn't. Just like, nope. Hobbit, yeah. The trilogy for the Lord of the Rings, yeah. And then I was like, Silmarillion, no. The Lost Tales, or no. I don't know. Yeah. Logan Lorne is with us in chat. I believe it's a first-time visit here in chat for them. Says, hey, Jeff, thanks for your work. They've got a long interest in D100 systems. They're curious about Blade of the Iron Throne. It's not something I'm familiar with. So if the publisher wanted to send it along, I'm always happy to take a peek. But as far as like going out and picking up stuff, it's really not in the budget of the outlet. That's why we rely upon review copies such as this that our friends over at Free League Publishing sent along. But of course, keep in mind, neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. So we are getting into the different locations. So here's Rivendell. And then I would think we also have Lothlorien. There you go. Elrond is a patron. I gotta say, yeah, I would say that that's kind of looking like Elrond from the films. So that's kind of cool there. And I see Pete Strakulich has joined us as well. So there is a bit of discussion about the One Ring. Pete Strakulich is asking which version's better. Is this better than the Cubicle 7? Well, Cubicle 7, it was the first edition of the One Ring. This is the second edition of the One Ring. And I did mention earlier in the video, there are some tweaks, there are some changes in the second edition, but they're not massive. And you could utilize aspects of second edition with first edition and so forth. So here we have the days darken. There was a time when the Eldar ruled the western lands of Middle-earth. They built great cities and mighty strongholds. Their hosts marched against the dark fortress of Morgoth and challenged him. There was a time when elven kings and champions faced the chief servants of the enemy in single combat and bested them. There was a time when elf songs echoed through woods and dells, and dark things fled at the sight of the light of the faces of the firstborn. Those times are long gone. The elves who still remain east of the sea now dwell in seclusion in remote or hidden realms, and they have almost become creatures of legend. But Sauron remembers. Well, well, well. So, is this an adventure here? Perils of the Lost Road. Yeah, it looks like it's some events that take place. This, I gotta say, this looks pretty interesting. I also believe that you now have an opportunity to play as high elves. I think there are some new options in here. Relighter Gamer is with us, said they like the new chapter art. The other books were a little too dark. So it looks like we've got some NPCs there. Got other shadows. Landmarks. This should be where we get the adventure locations. I was going to say, it's original soundtrack. Brett Nealon. Relighter says, in fact, all the art looks like it pops more. Maybe it's just great camera. Well, it may also have to do with the 1440p that you're getting because of the amount of upload that I've got with my internet provider. So my up is 500. Not that that's what this is set at. I think I've got it set at 50. So pretty sharp. Kevin R. Smith says you could play Elves of Linden in the core book. They'd assume there would be other elven cultures in this one. I would assume that as well. So Relighter said maximum upload. Yeah, actually it is. It is the max for a non-4K stream. The ruins of Dwarfery. The ruins of Dwarfery are so worn down and overgrown that they are difficult to spot from a distance. Yet up close, the dilapidated buildings reveal the majesty of the era in which they were constructed. At its height, Dwarfery was protected by a sturdy stone wall with a gatehouse encircling several stables and warehouses. A ferry provided passage across the Anduin, while several piers offered docking space for the barges that traded along the Great River. Nowadays, all trace of the presence of men has been canceled, but the stones of the dwarves proudly defy the passage of centuries. So then we've got the keyed locales. I almost said Hollywood. The Hollowwood. Very nice. And we have some creatures and NPCs. I think we're going to find in the appendices the rules for creating there we go, right there, High Elves of Rivendell. So here we've got information if you want to create those. And the Elves of Lorien. I think that's going to be it. Oh, Elf Lords and solo play, because yes, you've got the Strider supplement to provide solitaire play. And some additional rules and an index and a map on the back. Very cool. So that is a peek inside the One Ring Second Edition Realms of the Three Rings from Free League Publishing. I will, of course, have a review of this in the not too distant future. So Kevin King's also thanking Stephen from Roll for Combat for the free Demigods book. As I pointed out earlier in the show, you can grab that for free. I think it's today only. So there you go. There you have that. All righty. So stay tuned. I will have a review of this shortly. I'll try to get the review out there before it lands in stores on April 22nd. Once again, if you want to pre-order it and get the PDF right now, you can do so. Carries an MSRP of $41.80 over at freeleaguepublishing.com. Pretty quick show tonight, just rocking and rolling right on through. So tomorrow, as I mentioned, we are going to have a live Paizo preview for April. No, it's going to be all Dungeons and Dragons from here on out. We're going to talk D&D every show. That's what the channel's going to be. There are a couple of people out there who are like, yeah, I get it. Got to pay the bills, Jeff. I understand. Nah. Anywho, so tomorrow we are going to dive on into Claws of the Tyrant. We're going to take a peek at the new flip mat and then the first chapter of the brand new Pathfinder Adventure Path, which I will be reviewing. So I'll be doing the review for that. So I'm taking over that. So that should be pretty cool. Should be pretty cool. Mark Hawkswell is with us in chat. Said they've heard pretty good things about the Lord of the Rings role-playing. Another hole in their wallet seems to be opening up. If you want to utilize 5e mechanics, then yes, go Lord of the Rings role-playing. If you don't care about, it doesn't matter to you, I would definitely say go with the One Ring Second Edition. Couple of reasons. One is kind of cosmetic, but you'll be able to see. So this has a matte, almost like a fabric finish to it. This has kind of the cheaper feeling sort of, it's got this almost the same sort of finish as a regular standard Dungeons and Dragons release would have, which I find that these covers get damaged easier than the others, like the One Ring cover. So, and I don't know. I think this looks sharper, and it's always seems to be the case with the One Ring and the Lord of the Rings role-playing releases. I almost always like the cover on the One Ring Second Edition book more than the Lord of the Rings role-playing book. It's all the same content, just statted differently. And I would also say that the One Ring Second Edition, the rule system is quite lighter. It's not real combat extensive either, which some people may not like. Have more combat options with Lord of the Rings role-playing, but still. Relighter Gamer says, yeah, they read the One Ring rules and they're pretty simple. They work good for the setting. Yeah, I agree. I think I wouldn't necessarily bust them out if I were going for, like epic high fantasy or anything like that, because one of the big aspects of the One Ring, as well as Lord of the Rings role playing, is the journey, the various different kind of gamified aspects of the journey itself, as well as your fellowship of characters. Mark says, I guess I should have been clearer. I might have to dip my toes in the One Ring second edition. I guess I'm pretty ignorant of the specifics between the two. Yeah, the One Ring second edition, its own system. Lord of the Rings role-playing built on 5e. So Charles says that Cubicle 7's 5e conversion was superior to Free League Publishing's, in their opinion. Yeah, I suppose so. The reality is I usually don't even do the reviews on the 5e. It's just I figure, okay, you can take what I'd say about the One Ring second edition, apply it to the book for Lord of the Rings role-playing. Kind of how I look at it. All right. Anyway, also throughout April, I know people have been wondering, hey, Jeff, what happened with your reviews on the Castles and Crusades Reforged books? I've been holding off so I could release them this month. So this month is also going to be a Troll Lord Games month. So, of course, I will have my review this week. You'll be able to see it this week of the Player's Handbook Reforged for Castles and Crusades. All righty, then. That's it for this time out. Once again, pretty quick show tonight. Kind of zipped on through. I know everybody was like, it's going to be a D&D channel. I'm unsubbing now. Well, it wouldn't have been that bad. But just been like a million other channels out there, which might actually be better. I don't know. So, if you're watching live, thank you very much. If you watched live and took part in chat, tip of that cap to you, because not only are you keeping me company, you're keeping each other company while I'm going through the news and flipping on through a book or unboxing a game, what have you. Of course, I know a lot of folks out there, you don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. Thank you kindly for taking time out to watch any of the over 2,100 videos here on the Gaming Gang channel. Yes. If you happen to be a fan of the channel as well as the website, and you'd like to support us on Patreon, you will find a link to our Patreon in the show notes, as well as a link to our new Discord server, which I think we've got like 40 members already. So kind of cool. Not too bad. Not too shabby. All right, everybody enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is in your neck of the woods. If you like the video, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. So not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. I'll also let you know when I share other videos, such as my recent review of Warhammer 40K Roleplay Imperium Maledictum's starter set from Cubicle 7 Games. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit gaminggang.com for the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, a whole lot more you are not going to find here on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. I'll be back tomorrow. And as always, I certainly hope each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.